Okay, welcome to my tutorial on using Windows NASM with C. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to make a factorial function with Windows NASM and we'll call it from C. So first we'll make the assembly file, we'll call it core.asm, and we'll make main.c for the place where we're going to be calling it. Most of our code will be here. Here we'll just be calling the function itself. So first we're going to create the text section. This is where all our code goes. Then we're going to define a function called factorial, but we have to make it global so it can be accessed externally. Yeah. So here we have our function factorial. So first, because we're using Windows NASM, we have to create shadow space, which you do like this. It's just a Windows NASM thing. Just do it every function. And then our function ends with leave and ret. That returns the values and yeah. So how arguments are passed. In C, you pass arguments like you call the function like that. But in assembly, how it receives it is like in our function factorial. A is in the RCX register. B is in the RDX register, and so on. So factorial only needs one argument, so it'll be in the RCX register. How our function returns, it just returns whatever value is in rex. So like if I move 0 into rex, it'll return 0. Okay, so our number n will be in RCX. So we'll move 0 into rex, and we'll use a loop for this. So actually, I'll move 1 into rex because we need to multiply it. So every iteration of the loop will multiply rex by RCX and decrement RCX. And then we'll check. As long as it's greater than 0, we'll continue the loop. Yeah, so that should work. So for instance, if RCX is 5, 1 times 5 is 5, 5 times 4 is 20, 3 times 20 is 60, then 2 times 60 is 120, and yeah, that's the factorial of 5. Okay, so you need NASM to compile it. So if you see the command here, so NASM Windows 64 format core.asm, and then we'll output it as core.obj. Has to be obj for object file. Now we're going to be calling it the factorial function. So we're going to include standard library, then main function. So the syntax for getting assembly function is extern, and then the function declaration. So it returns an int, so function return type, function name, then it takes a number, and this n will be passed into RCX. So let's try printing it out. Factorial 5, which should be 120. So I'm gonna use GCC. You type the C file name and then all the OBJ files you're using for the linker. So right now it's just core.obj, and we'll output test.exe. So if we run test now, output's 120. So yeah, that's how you can use Windows NASM with C. Thanks for watching my tutorial.